貴様の拳などかほどにも効かんわい。お前はもう死んでいる。何？
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Team Big Plays. So today, if you couldn't tell, we are doing a more podcast style video. I wanted to try it out just because I had the gear, I had the equipment, I just haven't done it yet, and I feel like maybe it'll boost the quality of the video. So let me know down in the comments below if you like this style a bit, what I could change up, what I could improve. But anyways, getting on to the video, we are running a tier list video for today. I wanted to kind of go over the hand traps and evaluate them a bit. As you can see, we're going from S to D tier. So starting out, we'll go over the D tier. So I have Ghost Sister and Reaper. I think that's pretty evident why they're there. They're good, they're not bad, but they're very format specific. So Ghost Sister especially, really good in FTK formats or very combo heavy formats. Like, for example, back when Dragon Link was still like the absolute nut and Saryuja was running around everywhere. Not really the case anymore unless you're running a deck like a Romage or Prank Kids where you just manipulate life points like crazy anyways. Or, you know, water deck like Marincess that can just recycle it. Then we have Reaper, which again, format specific. You have to have top contending decks that you know you're going to see for a fact if you're going to main deck it. And then if you're going to side deck it, you just need to have the extra deck room. And again, you want decks you know you're going to see. That can't operate without a specific card. So for example, Thunder Dragon, back when Thunder, what was it? It was like Thunder, Orchist, and Striker, or no, it was Thunder, Orchist, guys. It was Thunder, Orchist, Striker. Back when those were the top three, you could run Reaper, and if you had the extra deck space, playing a deck like let's say Guru Control or Altergeist, you could have Kagari, Thunder Dragon Colossus, and like Dingirasu or Galatea, and you would just drop it and you'd hit one of those cards and you just completely screw them over. But now the format's at a point where there's just so many decks running around. I don't feel like that card's going to be too good, even if you wanted to run it against Spiral or Altergeist. Altergeist don't really need Hextia. Is it nice to have? Yeah. Do we need it? Not necessarily. We have a lot of workarounds, and Spiral, you can hit the double helix and it's gonna hurt, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of workarounds. Like, you don't necessarily need double helix. I mean, I guess if you're playing against Salad, but there are a lot better ways to beat Salad. C tier, we have Phantasme, D-Shifter, Ghost Spell, and Lancia. I feel like Lancia is a card that's definitely gonna rise on the list. It seems like Dino is picking up traction. Invoke too, which actually I think we saw it was like in the card market tournament that just took place. Dino and Invoke did pretty well. Well, those are two banishing based strategies. Heroes are rising. Heroes a banish based strategy. If you can hit their Miracle Fusion and you can hit the Malicious, it's pretty good. But for now, until we actually see like a definitive shape, I'm going to keep it at C tier, but definitely keep an eye out for that. Ghost Spell, you know, grave heavy formats, Ghost Spell definitely does tend to shine. Again, with Heroes and Invoked, I think it has potential, but we won't know until the format kind of smooths out a bit or we see some recurring themes. Dimension Shifter is just good in general against Graveyard. The hard part for that card in particular right now is like what decks can run it. Obviously, Gren Maju is going to run it. I would hope if you're playing Gren Maju, you would run this card. It's just too good to pass up. But I don't see a lot of other decks actually have the potential to run this. And then Phantasme, I feel like the way we're going, and especially like the closer we get to Master Roll 5, 4.5, 2020, whatever you want to call it, it's just going to continue to fall out of favor. Even right now, there's not a lot of Link heavy decks unless you're going against Salamangreat, Orchist, or Spiral. You don't see a lot of Orchist though, to be honest. Like, I feel like there's a lot of players, but you don't see them too heavily in the top cut unless it's like Lunalite. Spiral, yeah, but are you really going to spend that much money on a card just to go against a deck in particular when there's so many other decks like Dino, Altergeist, Subterror, Invoked, Mech Knight, a lot of other decks that it's not gonna do you too much good. Moving on to the B tier, we have Ogre, Valor, Gnomaterial, and Gamma. So Gamma's good if you're going second. So a lot of going second strategies. This might be the Handtrap for you. Of course, it's got to throw it in the B tier just because unless you make the link, Gamma's kind of irrelevant going first. Unless you're just stopping an Ash. And then you got to run the driver as the brick. Gnomaterial, I feel like the closer we get towards Master Rule 5 4.5, it's just going to continue to get better, just because you can cut off somebody's Eggsy Fusion Synchro Summon, especially the Synchros. I feel like that's important. If you know Material Hyper Librarian, Synchro Spam's going to have a pretty damn hard time kicking off. Even now, I would say you could use it against heroes, you could use it against Spiral, so they can't make certain plays. Valor, it's Valor. It's basically impermanent. The only reason I have it in B tier is because I feel like impermanence outperforms it by being able to use 2 negates, as well as with how prevalent Altergeist is. I feel like Valor or Imperm just kind of takes the cake. Not that Valor's bad. I'd still, if you have it, it's a good substitute to Imperm. I would definitely run it. Ogre, I consider putting in the A tier. I feel like a lot of people are running Ogre lately, from what I've seen. But I'm still not quite sure what, Ogre does in general against some of these decks. Like, Dinos, and they activate Ultimate Conductor. I guess you can drop Ogre on it, but I feel like they're just going to find a way to recur. Spiral, you can hit it against a Spiral card more often than not. I feel like they're going to bounce back. Of course, they might be missing a negate or two, but, so I feel like Ogre might not necessarily be as strong compared to other hand traps. Not that Ogre's bad. I would definitely consider running it, especially if you're seeing it in the top cut. That means it's there for a reason. So I'll let you do your own research on that. But on A tier, I have Nibiru, Ash, and Imperm. I feel like I don't really need to explain Ash. Ash is it's just good. Nibiru, because the reason I have Nibiru on A tier, not S tier, is because against decks like Spiral, Nibiru has points where if you hit it, you end their turn. But if you don't hit it, kind of screwing yourself over, just because it takes, I never thought it happens, but it takes skill to play Nibiru. You have to know when to time it, especially against other decks, and with some more not combo heavy deck coming out, such as, Invoked. I feel like you could probably get under 5 summons with Dino, Altergeist. I guess, yeah, it's pretty good against Hero. Again, that's not saying this card's bad. It's an A tier for a reason for me. It's good against Hero. It's good against Spiral. It's good against any combo deck, which there's most certainly there. Lunalights, Orcust. The only reason I have it in A tier, again, it depends on who's using it. Imperm, again, I feel like that's another obvious choice. The only reason I put it up there over Valor is just because, 1, you can't call by the grave Imperm. 2, it's actually nutty and Geist, especially if you run Trap Trick. Same thing with Subterror. Plus then you get the 2 negates if you're going first and you decide to set it. So, for the S tier, these are cards that I feel just absolutely shut down decks. 1, Droll and Lockbird. I think that's pretty self-evident. People are literally main decking it at this point, just to prepare for Spiral. And with how much representation Spiral has, it just shuts down a lot of other strategies now too. For example, strategies like Lunalight and like Mech Knight, especially Mech Knight, because you just add. So Droll's definitely good. I think if you can, definitely pick up a copy of it because it's super cheap. I'm not quite sure if this price spiked. It might have since the Endymion Structure deck, but if you can get a hold of this, definitely do it, especially since it's one of the cheaper options on this list. Second up, Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched just wipes board and going against Spiral, as long as you can bait out their Trigate. if you can bait out their Tri-Gate and any other spell or trap potential, it makes really good, and it's just a good option for going second. If I'm correct, the dude who won the YCS with Altergeist, trying to think of what the name of that one was. I think it wasn't Orlando, was it? It might have been Orlando. But anyways, the Altergeist player who won that, main decked it. The other Altergeist player who topped definitely used it too, so you definitely got to watch out for that. But again, it's a card that outs Altergeist. If you make sure you get rid of all their spell and trap negation, and it just clears boards, and it's good against so many decks. TD Crow, again, it's grave heavy format, and you can target cards that are very strong choke points for, so like example, Magician's Soul. Against Altergeist, spell and traps in the graveyard, you can hit those. If they send their multi-faker and they're about to bring it back with manifestation, that multi-faker, they're pretty much shut down for the day. Lunalights, honestly, I don't remember Lunalights too well, but I know there's a couple cards that once they hit the graveyard, you can hit. Orcust, hit Nightmare right when they send it. Or Simple Skeleton, or their Dingy or Seeming Grave, or their Galatea. You just have a lot of good options that if you hit, it's kind of over for them. They're not really going to bounce back. But anyways, that's my list. Let me know your thoughts down below if I forgot anything. This is just for hand traps, not necessarily side deck cards. If you want me to make a video for side deck cards, I'll more than gladly do it. I probably won't include the hand traps since I have the hand traps here right now. And yeah, that's going to be it. I should soon have the Prank Kids combo profile. I just got to make sure that I know my combos 100%. Altergeist deck profile coming soon too once I flesh out that deck, because I started playing it because I'm like, oh, it's good and it's cheap. So yeah, but that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and peace.